This is Fynnon Taff, or Taff's Well. It lies beside the River Taff in South Glamorganshire, not far from Caerphilly. It's the only thermal spring in Wales and one of only 6 in Britain. It lies across the river from the village of Gwala de Garth, and it lies in the village of Fynnon Taff, or Taff's Well. Water flows at a rate of around 800 gallons an hour. It travels from about 25 kilometres away, probably taking about 5,000 years to reach the well, and goes down to a depth of at least 400 metres, hence the increase in temperature. It reaches at round about 21 degrees Celsius. It's one of several springs in the area, and first came to prominence in the 1700s, when the waters were thought to help cure arthritis and rheumatism. The Romans were active in the area and may well have made use of it. The first structure built over is known to have been an iron hut, which was giving privacy to the men and women who separately used it. By the 19th century, a stone building had been put in place. Also, the sides of the rivers had an embankment on them to prevent flooding. Over the years, the site became less popular, and eventually became effectively abandoned. However, in the 1930s, it was reopened and a swimming pool was built, used for many years for people to learn to swim. However, by the 1950s, the site had again become disused. In the 1990s, the well was once again reopened and improved, together with the improvements in the park around it. At the time, the well was composed of a circular structure, about 4 metres depth, and there were steps running around the sides of the well from the bottom to the top. The well has its own ghost. This is the Grey Lady. She's often seen, apparently, at twilight. One occasion she saw a man taking water from the well. She came up to him and asked him to hold her hands and not to release them. However, he felt a sharp stabbing pain in his side, and he was forced to release his hold, upon which she said to him that she'd be forced to be haunting the site for another 100 years until she could find a stronger man. An audio-visual display was installed, however, at the time of the visit, this wasn't working. All of the well water still flows back into the river. However, first of all, its temperature is sufficiently high to heat the local primary school and the local bowling club. There are heat exchangers installed. The water doesn't actually mix with the water that heats the school, but it does have a sufficient temperature to provide warmth all year round. Thanks to the thermal spring, the primary school has had an 80% reduction in its carbon emissions.